Have you been wanting to grow watermelons, but you feel like you do not have the space for it because you live in a small space? Well, guess what? I have the solution, okay? Today, I will be showing you exactly how to grow your watermelon in containers, and you could grow it in small spaces because of this one little trick that I use every single year that gets me tons of juicy, huge watermelons. Okay, so come along, let's get started, and I'll show you exactly how to plant your watermelon so that you too can have a bountiful harvest come harvest season. All right, come along, y'all. One look and I breathe. Alrighty, hey y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Miss Yancy, and today we are in my garden. As I mentioned, I was coming on here to show you guys exactly how I plant my big juicy watermelons that y'all see me harvest every single season. Y'all know it is juicy, okay? I grow all of my watermelons in grow bags. I grow them in containers. This grow bag right here is one of the grow bag that I grow my watermelon in. A lot of you guys always ask me questions about how I grow it. So I was like, you know what? Why not show y'all? Let's get started. First thing first, when you're growing watermelons, okay? Watermelons is a very special breed. It needs a lot of help. So the first thing first, you wanna make sure that you choose the container that you're going to use. The container that you're going to use is gonna be a container that is about 20 to 30 gallons big. Watermelons has a ton of roots and it needs to stretch. If you want to grow a ton of watermelons and get like the really big juicy watermelons, like I grow crimson sweet watermelons, those are the huge watermelons that you see in the thumbnail. Those are the watermelons I grow. They are humongous, like they're this big and really heavy. So if you want to grow those type of watermelons or watermelons period, you have to have a really big container. I believe this is a 25-gallon grow bag. You can use a 20 to 30-gallon grow bag. If you're using a 20-gallon grow bag, I would say just put one watermelon in it. If you're using anything larger, then maybe you could put 2 watermelons in it. I'm growing multiple melons, so you'll see we have like 3 of these grow bags that we're about to go through, that I'm about to show you guys how I grow it. Remember, you need a large container, okay? It could be a grow bag or like a regular flower pot. Just remember, it needs to be at least 20 gallons big. All right, so that's number one. Number two, the soil matters. I talk to you guys about good soil all the time. Good soil consists of regular topsoil mixed with compost and some other nutrients, okay? And good soil is soil that does not smell bad. It should smell very earthy. If your soil does not smell like the regular, you know how when you dig in the ground and you smell it, it just smells like the earth? That's what you want your soil to smell like. That is good soil. Also, your soil has to be breathable. It has to be aerated. It has to be something that the roots are easy to grow in. So your soil cannot be the clay-like soil. It's going to stunt the growth of your watermelons, and it's going to cause it to take a super long time to grow, if it grows at all. So you want your soil to be like this consistency if you're growing, especially if you're growing in a grow bag, or if you're growing in any kind of container. It has to be this consistency, okay? You need your soil to be this consistency. That is going to encourage the roots of the watermelon to grow perfect, okay? And then you need to make sure that when you're growing your watermelons, you're going to be growing it with different things. Like I'm going to be growing my watermelons with marigolds in here, and then I'm going to put this sage in here. So I grow my watermelon with like herbs and flowers. It is going to help attract pollinators, because watermelons needs to be pollinated, and you want to keep the pests away. So if you have some herbs and things in here, it's going to help keep the pests away, like animals and things like that. They don't like the smell of strong smelling herbs and flowers. So you want to make sure that you have like some type of herb in the bag and some type of flower. The flower is there to attract the pollinators to pollinate the watermelons, and then the herb is there to keep those pesky animals away, okay? So here is like the key to having a thriving watermelon plant. If you're growing it in a grow bag or a container, you need to have some type of trellis. You could absolutely grow watermelons on your patio. If you live in an apartment, you could grow watermelon. You need some type of trellis for your watermelons to grow on, okay? So for me, I grow my watermelon on this chain link fence right here. In my backyard, I have a chain link fence that connects me and my neighbor. I grow my watermelon on there. My neighbors don't mind if the watermelon grow on their side. Usually if it grow on their side, I tell them they can have it if they want it, but you would need like some type of trellis. Watermelons are extremely heavy. The one I'm growing is the Crimson Sweet, and Crimson Sweet is a huge watermelon. It grows really big and it's very heavy, so you need some type of sturdy trellis. So whatever trellis you're purchasing for your watermelons, if you're growing it on like a patio or anything like that, or if you're choosing to grow it vertically like me, which I think you should, you need like a really sturdy trellis. Okay, you can use like a cattle panel or anything like that. Just make sure it's sturdy. And then secondly, if you're growing your watermelons vertically like I do, and if you're growing like a big one like me, you need something to support it. When it's growing vertically, remember, it's, you know, gravity is going to get it, so it's going to fall off that vine because you're growing it vertically. So what you need to do is get something that's also sturdy enough to tie to the trellis to carry the watermelon inside of it, almost like a bra. It needs support, you know what I mean? You guys know how I grow my cantaloupes. I grow all my melons vertically, and you guys see that I put it inside of a like a mesh, like pantyhose. But these huge watermelons, pantyhose not gonna do it. You need something much thicker than that. I use for my watermelons, I use like those bug netting. I use the bug netting. I get like a huge yard of it and I just cut it and I use the bug netting, and that's what I use to tie to the trellis and then have my watermelon sitting in it. It's very sturdy, and it has to be something that's breathable, that air can go through, so the watermelon do not get rotten, okay? Because these melons are huge and they are heavy. Okay, one of the reasons why you want to grow your watermelon vertically anyway is because it helps with airflow. Watermelons get a lot of humongous leaves. Also, it helps the pollinator get to the watermelon very easily. The flowers, it's easy for the pollinators to pollinate them. It's easy for them to find the flowers because it's like, you know, it's creating like a little flower wall or a watermelon wall for you. And the pollinators, it's very easy for them to find the flowers and pollinate it. And like I said, creating that airflow for them, and it's able to, you know, to maneuver around the watermelon plants. And growing your watermelon vertically is not only saving on space and giving you the opportunity to grow more food around, it also keeps it away from like the things like the pests and things like that want to bite your watermelon. You know, it avoids all of those things. So growing your watermelon vertically, I think, is one of the best things that you could do. I've been doing this for years and it works every single time. And I just want y'all to know it grows in grow bag. But one of the most important things that y'all need to understand when you're growing in grow bags, they tend to dry out really quickly, especially in the summertime, like July and August and things like that. It dries out really easily. So you need to figure out a way how you're gonna water your watermelon. Alrighty, we're gonna dig in here. I was gonna say, like, try to do it like close to the trellis so it's easy to train it up the trellis, but I think I'm gonna do this in the middle. I think it's gonna be fine in the middle. By the way, one thing I did not tell you guys about when it comes to filling out your grow bags or your containers, you don't have to use all soil. I did a short showing you guys how to fill up your bags for cheap so that you don't use a lot of soil that's going to cost you a lot of money. I put a lot of like backyard scrap at the bottom of the bags and the containers. I use leaves, I use wood chips, I use wood, whatever that's in my backyard, any kind of scraps, I put it at the bottom, and I put a lot of it because really a lot of food just need about 5 gallons of soil for it to grow. So as long as you have like about 5 gallons, you know, of soil in there, you're good. The rest of it could be like a bunch of like, you know, backyard scraps that can also compost at the bottom of your containers. That saves a lot of money on soil for me, and I've been doing it for a long time. And then also, if you're using things like logs and stuff like that at the bottom of the bed, as it decomposes, it adds a lot of richness to the soil. It's like free fertilizer, you know. So that's how I save money on soil and things like that. So at the bottom of all my grow bags, there's a ton of logs and a whole bunch of stuff, because these bags could take a lot of soil. Okay, so we're going to put our watermelon in there. I'm gonna put some fertilizer and just cover it up. Oh, I forgot to put water in the hole. It's okay, I'm going to water the entire plant anyway, but I like to put water in the hole when I am planting, especially watermelon. Watermelons need a lot of water. See, we got our marigold in here. We're gonna add some mulch. Alrighty. At the end, I already told you guys we're gonna water it very, very well so the soil can get really, really wet. So you really want to drench this as much as you can, because this is in a grow bag and grow bags tend to dry out very easily. All right, let's go to the next bag and then we're gonna be all done and I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Let me know where you're watching from. What are you growing? What zone you're in, okay? Don't forget to like the stream. Thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out with me in my garden. Guys about banana water. Okay, so the plants love banana water. Y'all know I use my banana water. So pretty much I put banana peels or plantain peels in the bottle, put some water in it, let it sit for a couple of days, and it is going to ferment inside of the water. And make sure when you're putting it in the bottle, do not close the bottle tight. Leave the bottle like kind of open. Don't tighten the top on here because it could actually blow up from the fermentation of the banana in the water. Don't ask me how I know, because yes, sis learned her lesson, okay? You can put it in like a bucket too and do the same thing. It doesn't have to be a bottle. And then use it to water your plants. The plants love it.
And remember, y'all, if you're looking for organic heirloom seeds, go ahead in the description of this video and grab your pack of seeds in my Etsy store and get your garden popping. Bye, y'all. Happy gardening.